Oh. Hi, sorry. I hit a button and I went to a different page and I got all confused. So silly. So good to see everybody. I'm just gonna wait a minute or so. I've got some serious allergies today, so I'm gonna do a lot of I hope it doesn't annoy you too much. And I think I'm gonna get started. We're gonna do a decent amount of breathing and sitting because I think that's the most fitting thing we can do these days, okay? So when you're ready, I'm not gonna start yet, but we're gonna start down on the mat. Just closing some doors. It's a little loud. And I should also warn everybody, in the middle of this evening, my family's coming home. They've just been gone for the day, but they'll be ruckus in a second. So, coming to our mat and starting with our breath. Starting with those nice deep inhalations and exhalations. And for now, just matching the two. Taking that inhalation up from the belly, expanding the ribs, broadening the chest, and exhaling, coming all the way back down. And when the mind wanders, we'll come back to the breath again and again. And on your next exhalation, maybe let's extend it, maybe a count or two. Getting that parasympathetic nervous system ignited. Getting out of the flight or fight and into rest and relax. Knowing you're safe here. Sorry. Will you bring them out with you maybe? And every time we exhale, trying to release tension from the body. Now let's move to making that exhalation as long as we can without gasping. Two more times through with those nice long exhalations. Then we'll go back to an even inhalation and exhalation. And then winding up in that normal, more natural breath, opening those eyes. If you were lying down, if you can come to a seated position, hands on top of those thighs. We're going to inhale, bring that chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. In and out with the breath here. Two more times. Did you just have those boys come in through the window? One more. Coming back up to that neutral spine. Let's inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale, twist to the right. Hi. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. So back and forth with the breath. One more time each side. Coming back into center again. Let's take a nice deep inhalation. Extend that spine. Exhale, right arm over. Inhale, center. Exhale, left arm over. Back and forth with the breath. Feels good. One more time each side. And the next time our right arm is up and over, we're going to hold. Turn that chest to the sky. And if you'd like, take that left arm. You could walk it out. Get a little bit bigger of a stretch. Breathing into that right side body. One more breath here. Inhaling up, exhaling over to the other side. Same thing here. Turn that chest to the sky a little. If you'd like, you can walk that right arm out a little. We're breathing into that left side body. Nice deep breaths. One more. Then we'll inhale back up to center. We're going to move to all fours. So hands are going to be directly under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Cat-cow chakrabhasana here. So on the inhale, shoulders come back, head rises, belly drops. On the exhale, we push away from the earth, tuck the chin. For now, just cat-cow. Feeling how that feels in your body. What kind of shapes can you make? The next time you're in cat, on that same exhalation, we're going to push right back into child's pose. Inhale, back up, cow. Exhale, cat and child's pose. So at your pace, with your breath. Two more times. Now the next time you find yourself coming into cow, on that same inhalation, we tuck the toes, push back into downward dog. Exhale, knees down to the earth, cat and child's pose. Inhale, cow, downward facing dog. Exhale, cat, child's pose, two more times. Ending in child's pose when you're ready. Knees can be together or apart. We're going to spend a second here. Arms are wide out in front of you. Nice and long. Let's breathe into that low back, under the arms. Couple more breaths here. Then we'll walk those hands over to the right, breathing into that left side body. Nice deep breaths into that left side. And then walk those hands all the way over to the left. Again, breathing into that right side body. One more breath. Walk those hands back to center. Let's come back up onto all fours. On your next inhalation, we're going to extend that right arm, left leg. Exhale, bring it down. Other side, inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, set it down. We're just going to work between the two sides, focusing on the extension of the spine. When you raise the arm and leg, we're pulling from wall to wall, really trying to extend. Two more times each side, nice and slow. I just did it all wrong, sorry. Okay, the next time your left arm, right leg are engaged, we're going to hold for 4 breaths. Left arm's reaching forward, right foot's reaching back. Extension of the spine, head's in alignment with the spine. 2 more breaths. And after that second exhale, bring the hand and knee back down to the ground. Inhale the other side. 4 breaths here. Again, reaching from one side of the room to the other. One more deep breath. We'll bring that right hand and left knee back down to the ground. We're going to flip those toes and push back into our first downward facing dog. So take a minute here, pedal it out, opposite knees are bending. Hips can be wagging, give this some movement. On your next inhalation, we're going to move forward, up over the wrist. On the exhalation, pushing back into downward dog. So inhaling forward, almost into plank. Exhaling, pushing back. One more time. On your next inhalation, we're going to look between those hands, walk those feet forward for our first forward fold. If you can't reach the ground here, have your block. We're going to work on this for a minute, so you're going to want to be able to touch the ground. On your next inhalation, we're going to come up to toes. And on the exhalation, we're going to come back to heels. So inhaling, up on toes, still in the forward bend, exhaling back on heels. Work with your breath. Releasing the low back, getting some calf movement in. Stretching those ankles back and forth. One more time. And now grabbing opposite elbows, rocking back and forth. Breathing into that low back, mid back, whatever you're holding on to. 2 more breaths. And after that second exhalation, generous bend the knees, rolling up nice and slow. 1 vertebrae at a time till the head comes up last. I need a drink. Hello, Patricia. We're going to work through a couple of sun salutations and some standing poses. So, coming to the top of our mat, let's take a nice big inhale up, arms come with us. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling halfway up, nice flat back. Exhaling those hands down to the mat, we're going to hop or step back into plank. On your next inhalation, we're going to rock forward on those toes like in downward facing dog. Exhaling, pushing back. Some more calf stretches here. And then on your next exhalation, we're going to lower down to the mat, knees, chin, chest. Take one breath here. On your next inhalation, we're going to push those legs back, come into our first cobra. So small cobra to start. Elbows are bent. You can have your hands off the ground or you can come up a little higher. Either works. One more breath. And then we'll push away from the earth, up into plank and downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Heels are reaching towards the earth, sacrum reaching towards the sky. On your next inhalation, we look between those hands and we hop or step forward. Forward fold. One breath. On your next inhalation, those arms are wide all the way to the sky. Hands come to heart. Nice big inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling halfway up. Exhaling those hands down to the mat, hop or step back into plank. Hold there, 3 breaths. Got a little warm. One more deep breath. We're going to lower down, knees, chin, chest again. Inhaling up into another cobra. Shoulders come down the back. Legs are engaged. Taking those nice deep breaths through the belly to get some expansion in the belly. One more breath. We're going to push away from the earth, up into plank and downward facing dog. Let's take 2 breaths here. On your next inhalation, we're going to take that right leg up into the air. 1 breath. On your next exhalation, take that right foot, bring it between the hands. We're going to hold here. Both hands are on the ground. Nice deep breaths into this first movement. On your next inhalation, arms rise. Same positioning of the legs. Nice deep breaths. We're in crescent lunge. Shoulders are coming down the back. On your next exhalation, we're going to bring those hands to heart and twist over the right thigh. So we're in a nice big twist here. If you need to, you can put that left knee down on the ground for stability and balance. You still get that nice, great psoas stretch. On your next inhalation, arms come back up, crescent lunge again. One breath. On your next exhalation, we're going to pivot that left back foot, side angle. Left arm comes over. Bend that right front knee. Knee is over the ankle. We've got one nice long line from the tip of the left hand to the left foot. Nice deep breaths. Two more. On your next exhalation, we're going to bring those hands down to the mat. Step that right foot back, downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. That feels good. One more breath. And on your next inhalation, we're going to look between those hands, hop or step forward, forward fold. 2 deep breaths here. Every exhalation, we tuck a little more, come into that fold just a little bit. One more breath. Let's take a generous bend to those knees and roll up nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last. Could you turn off the water outside? Thank you. It's going to drown. I left the water on. Bob's going to take care of it. Nice big inhale up. Exhaling forward fold. Inhaling halfway up with that nice flat back. Exhaling those hands down to the mat. Hop or step back into plank. Let's take a second here. I'm going to take my right hand and tap my left shoulder. Bring it back down. Left hand, tap right shoulder. Bring it back down. So shoulder tap plank. Just working some core while we're here. Back and forth with the breath. Inhale, exhale. 2 more each side. Then we're going to lower down this next time, knees, chin, chest, or chaturanga, and inhale up into cobra or up dog, your choice. Couple of deep breaths here. Shoulders come down the back, belly's releasing and stretching. One more breath. Then we're going to push away from the earth, tuck those toes, and push back into downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths here. Perfect timing. Move into the other side. On your next inhalation, we're going to inhale that left leg up, ground that right heel into the ground. And then your next exhalation, we'll bring that left foot in between the hands for crescent lunge. Hands are still on the mat, just a couple of breaths. Inhale those arms up. Nice strong pose, crescent on the other side. 1 breath. On your next exhalation, let's bring those hands down to heart, twist over the left thigh. Remember, you can bring that right knee down to the ground if it works better for you. Couple of deep breaths here. And your next inhalation, we're going to inhale those arms back up. 2 breaths. On your next exhalation, we're going to pivot that right foot, side angle on the other side. Right arm extends overhead. One nice long line of the body from the fingertips all the way down to the leg. Couple deep breaths here. Really reaching, let right arms reaching. 2 more breaths. And on your next exhalation, we're going to bring those hands down to the mat. Left foot steps back, downward facing dog. Couple of breaths here. Again, heels reaching towards the earth, sacrum to the sky. Heads in alignment with the elbows. And on your next inhalation, we're going to look between those hands and hop or step forward. Sorry, I'm super off today. Forward fold. I'm having a hard time with my words. 1 more breath. You're going to inhale those arms all the way up to the sky. Keep them overhead. On your exhale, we're going to come over to the right. Inhaling center. Exhaling bend to the left. So back and forth with the breath here. Where am I in the video? I know. Come forward. Sorry, I'm just going to move this a little.
Tap it, I think.
No, it's okay. I just wanted it. My head was cut off. Okay, coming back to center, we're going to take a nice deep inhale and make a small back bend. Holding, glutes are engaged, legs are fully engaged. One more breath. And inhale forward, go right into forward fold. Woo. Again, taking a second here. Releasing that low back one more time. And in your next inhalation, arms are wide all the way to the sky. Hands come to heart. I want to move into wide forward. So let's open those legs as wide as the mat. So we're going parallel with the mat. Nice wide stance. I find most times with this, most people don't get a wide enough stance. And you also want to bring your block to the middle of your legs. Well, out in front a little bit. Let's take a nice deep inhale. Hands are on the hips. Exhale halfway down. Inhale back up. Exhale down. Just come in and out. If this hurts your back when you're coming back up, bend the knees slightly. It takes the pressure off the back. 2 more times. 1 more. Now the next time we come down, we're going to bring both hands down to the block or the mat. You decide. Figure out if you want your legs a little wider, and we're going to internally rotate the feet just a tiny bit. On your next inhalation, left hand is in the middle of the mat, right arm comes up. Exhale back to center, left arm comes up. So in and out with the breath here, making this full rotation of the body. Finding that spot where your body can make the most movement. Maybe you're leaning back some, maybe you're forward, maybe your knees are slightly bent. Wide forward is a great spine lengthener on top of a great back release. Next time the right arm's up and over, we're going to hold. So if you can see here, I can't stack my shoulders, so I'm going to take that right hand and put it behind my back. It gives me more opportunity to twist without worrying about where my hand is. Because what I'm trying to do is stack my shoulders. 2 more breaths. After that second exhalation, right hand comes down to the middle, left hand comes up. And decide here again, do you want the arm in the air? Or are we tucking that hand behind the back? On the exhalations, we can tuck that belly and twist some more. Nice deep breaths. One more. Unwind and come back to center. The hands are down on the floor. We're going to walk them down so we can come into that wide forward fold, eventually trying to get that head down to the mat or the block. So on the inhales, we extend that spine using the hands. On the exhales, we tuck the belly and come into the fold. And we continue to work with that breath pattern. And if you can get the soft spot of that head onto a block or the floor, it's a hormone balancer. Two more breaths here. After that second exhalation, we're going to walk those hands back out in front of us, heel to toe those feet back in, and then come to a seated position. So this time we're going to do straddle position and wide-legged. You guys can see me. So legs are separated into straddle. Inhale those arms up overhead, extend that spine. On the exhale, we're going to turn our whole body, face the right foot. And exhale, fold to the outside of the left foot. So this has your spine, hip, everything going in the same direction. Both legs are engaged. You can have your strap here if you need it around that foot. Two more deep breaths. When you're ready, inhaling up slowly. Woo! Take one deep breath. On your next inhalation, those arms come up overhead. We twist towards the left foot. Exhale out to the outside of the left foot. And then fold. And you just notice here what's tighter. Is it harder or easier on this side? Both feet are engaged. Two more deep breaths. And after that second exhalation, let's walk those hands to the center. Inhale that spine long. Exhale, tuck the belly, come forward. Working with the breath here. Woo, release of that low back. If you'd like to bend the knees in this one, that's wonderful. Or you can keep them straight, just not locked. And then we're going to come and roll up slowly. One vertebrae at a time. Soles of the feet come together for butterfly. Find that comfy spot where your spine can be nice and tall. Inhale that spine nice and tall. On your exhalation, we're going to twist whole body over to the right. Right hand comes behind you, left hand to the outer right thigh. Gazing out over that right shoulder. And trying to achieve those big belly breaths so that we can massage those organs. On the inhalations, we extend the spine. On the exhalations, we tighten the core, tuck the belly, and twist. Two more breaths. After that second exhalation, we're going to unwind, come back to center. Whew. Inhale that spine nice and tall. Exhale slowly over to the left. Now left hand comes behind us, right hand on the outer thigh. On the inhalations, we extend that spine nice and tall. On the exhalations, more twist. And we just keep working with the breath. Get that full body twist in the opposite direction. One more breath here. We'll unwind slowly. We're going to extend the legs out in front of us. A two-part flow here. On the inhale, we're going to bring the hands behind us, fingers pointed towards the tush. Raise the tush off the floor. So inhale, reverse plank. Exhale, tush comes back down, forward bend. So really take your time here. Make it flowy. Roll up nice and slow. Reverse plank. Exhale, tush comes down, forward fold. 2 more times. Last one. We're going to stay in forward fold. Same thing here. If you need your strap, go ahead and grab it. For those of you who are flexible in the hamstrings, you can put a block after your feet, so on the soles of your feet. On the inhale, we extend that spine, just like everything else. On the exhale, tighten that core, tuck the belly, and fold. And we just keep working with that. Using the exhalation for that release. Two more breaths. And after that second exhalation, we're going to roll up nice and slow. Head's going to come up last. Okay, let's go back to all fours. I want to flow through pigeon on both sides. I'm feeling that today. In the emotional world, hips are the soul of our emotions. It's our heart. And I feel like, yeah, let's address that, okay? So hands are directly under the shoulders, knees are under the hips. We're going to tuck those toes and go into a downward facing dog. And take a second here, get back into your downward facing dog. Work through that low back. Then on your next inhalation, we're going to raise that right leg up to the sky. One breath here. Then we're going to bring that right shin up to the wrists for pigeon. Slide that left leg back, making that space. And if you'd like, you can relax down into pigeon, or you can come up into king pigeon and take a hold of that back foot. Either one's wonderful. If you find that you're too far away from the floor for comfort in pigeon, you can take a block and put it under your side tush. We're going to spend a couple of minutes here, so I'm going to kind of keep talking you through it. After you get all of that settled, if you want to walk that left foot back just a little bit more, put some pressure on the top of the foot. We square up the hips. So I get a cramp. And then with every exhalation, we breathe into that hip flexor, letting it release. Using that exhalation, sending it to the hip flexor, inner thigh, low back, maybe the knee. Two more breaths. And at the end of that second exhalation, we're going to bring those hands down to the mat, flip those left toes, step the right foot back, downward facing dog. Take a second to feel the difference between the right and left thigh now. Doesn't that left side feel tight? It's funny how quick that happens. Two more breaths. On your next inhalation, we're going to round that right heel. Inhale that left leg up to the sky. One breath. And then on your next exhalation, left shin up to the wrist. Pigeon on the other side. Walk that right foot back. Set that body up. Put the pressure on the right foot. Decide if you want to be up or resting, lying. Both are wonderful. And we use those exhalations to release the tension that's left. I think they say left hip or mom issues, mom stuff, and left hip is mom, right hip is dad. That's what they say. But I do know the hips are the emotional center of the body, so if you're feeling tension or trauma or stress, unhappiness, joy. It all surfaces in the hips, just like the gut is the second brain. The hips are the second heart. Keep releasing on those exhalations. 2 more breaths. And at the end of that second exhalation, let's bring those hands back down to the mat. We're just going to sit our tush back down. Nothing dramatic, nothing crazy. Then we're going to go to a lying position. I'm going to go sideways. Wish I knew where I was in that video. We're going to have both knees bent here. Arms are by the side. Feet are about hip distance apart, bringing the heels in as close to the tush as we can. On the inhale, arms and tush rise into bridge. On the exhale, we paint the wall, come back down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Bridge is so essential. It's like one of the best glute and low back strengtheners. The trick is when you come up, don't stop where you think you're done. Continue to engage the glutes to get that height. Because there is like a stopping point where you think, oh, that's it. But then you keep pushing, getting that psoas stretch and the glute strengthening that you need. 3 more times. Last one. The next time we come up, we're going to set up to hold bridge. So here we go on the inhale. Now, if you'd like, you can clasp hands and tuck those shoulders to get a little more leverage. Now I've got a big bridge and a pretty decent back bend. Heels are pushing, well, feet are pushing into the earth. Thighs are internally rotating so the knees stay above the ankles. And we engage the whole core here. 2 more breaths. And at the end of that second exhalation, let's come up to toes. Take those shoulders out from under us and slowly release into the earth. 1 vertebrae at a time until we're all the way back down. I'm going to come back this direction. I don't have enough room over there, so I'm going to go on this side. A little bit of ab work. Legs are up in the air. Hands are under the tush. It's a 4-part movement. So we're going to bend the knees at the tabletop. Extend them out so they're hovering. Bend them back in to tabletop and then extend them straight. So it is bend, extend, bend, up. Bend, extend, bend, up. Now if the low back hurts while you're doing this, you're just going to keep those legs bent when you go to extend and tap the heel down. Okay? So that's different than just extending, but it still engages the low abdomen, which is what we're looking for. Two more times. Last one. After you complete that last one, let's bring those knees straight into chest. Tuck the chin. You can rock back and forth. Okay, here's my favorite back and forth twist. Let's put the knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor. We're going to walk the feet wider than the mat on both legs. Arms are out to the side. We're going to take that nice deep inhale. Exhale, both knees to the right, nice and wide. Inhale to center, both knees to the left. So your legs are kind of in 2 90-degree angles. The outer thigh comes down on one leg and the inner thigh of the other. Take your time through this. Try to get the full extension on each side. One more time each side. And then next time both knees are to the right, we're going to hold. Take that right foot, put it on the outside of the left thigh, and gaze out over that left arm. Nice deep belly breaths. So for me, I've still got some tightness on this left side. Inhalations and exhalations, I'm visually seeing that breath move to those places. So inhaling and exhaling it back out. You can see, you can kind of feel it. So you have to be very conscious with it. Inhale, we fill it. Exhale, we release it. 2 more times. And after that second exhalation, we're going to unwind, come back to center, reset those feet. And on your very next exhalation, both knees to the left foot comes to the outside of the right thigh, and we gaze out over that right hand. Same thing here, breathing into the release of the hip flexor. Release of the side obliques. Two more breaths. And then we'll inhale, coming back to center. We're going to extend the left leg on the ground. Bend the right knee, arms are still out to the side. Nice deep inhale. Exhale that right knee across the body. Inhale it to center. Switch sides. Exhale left knee over body. Going back and forth with the twist in the breath. Oh. One more time each side. The next time the left knee is bent and is across the body, we're going to hold. You can tuck that left foot behind the right knee and gaze out over that left shoulder. If you can, keeping those shoulders down on the ground. Two more breaths. Inhaling back to center, trading sides. Left leg extends, right knee bends. On your next exhalation, crossing over the body and releasing. Tuck that right foot behind the left knee and gaze out over that right shoulder. Woo! This is where I am stuck today. One more breath. And then unwinding, coming back to center. Anything else you'd like to do with your body before we set up for Shavasana? I'm actually going to take Shavasana with you guys today. I need it desperately. So after you're ready, find that spot. You can be legs in butterfly, legs up the wall. You can be, I don't know, you can be in forward bend even. You can be in child's pose. I like to start with the arms. I bring them up overhead. Externally rotate the hands and let them come down to the sides, nice and gentle as a small angle. I do the same thing with the right leg. Raise it in the air, externally rotate, set it down. On the left, raise it in the air, externally rotate, set it down. I let that part of my body relax, tuck my chin, and focus on my exhalations. So we release the brow, soften the face, soften the belly. And we'll start by deepening the breath. And some slight movement to the wrists, ankles, maybe the head. No rush. And when you're ready, at your own pace, coming into a seated position. Let's inhale those arms up, gathering up all the energy, love, everything in the air. Bringing those hands together, exhaling those hands down to the third eye, giving thanks for the ability to see clearly, to the lips for discernment, and to the heart that we can fill with love. I thank you for being here with me today. Namaste. And I wanted to give you a little tidbit today. Starting when the riots started, like 10 days ago, 7 days ago, whatever, I started having a lot of anxiety. I'm not anxiety ridden, so that's not saying a lot. But it kept escalating, and I just was like, I can't live like this. Like everywhere I was going, everything I was doing, every person I saw, there was this underlying turbulence in my core. And I asked my therapist today, am I going crazy? Is this it? Is it just too much? And she said, I'd be disappointed in you if you didn't have angst. There's an appropriate place for angst. And this is an appropriate place for it. It's just channel it in a way it's positive. And that did something for me, freed me up to feel the feelings I was having instead of trying to just keep going on and fighting the good fight. I give that to you because I think in the coming months we're going to continue to experience things that aren't so pleasant. So having that internal dialogue with ourselves and knowing it's okay, whatever it is we're feeling, there's no need to push it away. So I give you that. I love you guys. I hope everybody's well and taking care of themselves. Oh, hi, Christine and Patricia. I'm taking hugs from you. You guys have a beautiful weekend. I'll see you Wednesday for HIT at noon and Friday at 6 for yoga.